Welcome back everyone, it's Law from LawsVapeShop.com, and this is part 2 of a 3-part series on an introduction to e-cigarettes. In this video we'll be covering e-juices and how to find out what type of e-juice is right for you. Now there are basically 3 different criteria on how most people judge their e-juice. That would be how much vapor it produces, the strength of the throat hit, meaning how does it feel like you're just breathing air, or can you actually feel the burn go down, as you inhale, just like you would when you used to smoke an analog cigarette. And then lastly, how good the flavor is. Excuse me. Alright, so for those of you that are more concerned with the amount of vapor a juice produces, you're going to want to go with something that's more VG based. Now, VG stands for vegetable glycerin. It's innately sweet, so it may dull the flavor of the juice that you choose, but it will definitely produce tons of vapor. For those of you that are concerned more with the throat hit, meaning you don't want to just feel like you're smoking air and you don't feel anything at all, you're going to want to go with more of a PG based juice. PG stands for propylene glycerol. Let's see. Propylene glycerol also allows the flavor of the juice to come out a little bit more. Now the consistency between the two is a little different as well. VG is a bit thicker that you'll find, and then VG or PG is pretty much more viscous. It's thinner than your VG juice. If you kind of want a mixture of both, you can get juices with different ratios between the PG and the VG. There are certain sites that will allow you to customize it to your liking. That way you can get a juice specifically made the way you like it. One of those sites is one that I go to pretty often. They've got great juice, great customer service. The website is freedomsmokeusa.com, and you can choose pretty much any type of ratio. It goes in percentages of 10, so you can go with like a 50-50 if you want, or a 40-60 PG to VG ratio in your juice, all depending on what you're looking for. They've got a ton of different flavors. They're located here in Tucson, Arizona, so you don't have to worry about a juice that has been flown from overseas, that you don't know how long it's actually been sitting and hasn't been used. They make all their juices here in the US, and it's fresh and it's good stuff. So I definitely recommend them if you're looking for a juice vendor that has great customer service and produces high quality juice. So next I'd like to cover the price on these juices. Let's see. A 5 milliliter bottle of juice will typically cost you somewhere around $5. Now that doesn't sound like much when you think about 5 milliliters. This is pretty much size of a 5 milliliter bottle right here. That has lasted me a little bit over 2 weeks now, and it only cost me $5. So for those of you that are interested in cost savings compared to regular cigarettes or analog cigarettes that you would get, a pack in Arizona these days costs a little bit over $7. There may be a special where you can get it for $6 if you buy 2, and that lasts people maybe 1 or 2 days for pack-a-day smokers. This is what I found to be equivalent to roughly 2 or 3 cartons of cigarettes. Depending on the PG and VG ratio, it could last a little bit more or less. Now I did find personally through my experience that VG, you don't need as much of it to get the same amount of vapor and drags that you would with a PG juice, which is typically why personally I go with more of something that's VG based rather than PG. Now I also want to go over a different way that you can use juices with your e-cigarette. In my first video I showed you how to use it with the cart that it comes with. This is the cart. You would normally just drip about 8 to 10 drops of juice into your cart while you have that filler material in there. You want to pretty much fill it up till it gets right about to the top, so the top looks slushy but it's not overflowing. If it looks like it's pooling at the top, just grab a tissue or a napkin and kind of dab it down a little bit, and then you just pop it right on top of your atomizer. What I've been doing for a while is I've been using a drip tip. A drip tip allows you to drip juice directly onto your atomizer instead of using a cartridge. Sorry about that. So as you can see, there's a hole that's, I don't know if you can see it there. There's a hole that goes right through there. So instead of putting your cartridge on top of your atomizer, you would put your drip tip on there, just like that. And then you can drip the juice directly on top of it. I find that it has better flavor, the throat hits a little bit stronger, and you get more vapor when you drip. The only thing is you can only drip about 2 or 3 drops at a time before it floods your atomizer, and that is typically good enough to last for a whole cigarette session. I wouldn't recommend dripping if you were in your car or if you weren't somewhere that you could conveniently drip. At that point I would use a cart like you would in the beginning. But if you're somewhere where you can drip, I find it to be pretty good. I like it a lot. You get a lot of the flavor out of your juice. And if you use more of a VG based juice, you get a lot of good draws out of it. So that pretty much covers it for our juice section. If you have any questions about juice, please feel free to email me. Email is LawsVapeShop.com. That's LawsVapeShop.com. No spaces or dashes in between. And we'll see you in our third video. Thank you.